then in Halloween. So what happened? It took a 1995. It kind of did not do well, and Jamie Lee Curtis a few years later had said, you know what, it's 1998. It's gonna be 1998 soon, and the original came out in 1978. We can't let this the 20th anniversary just slip by. So it was actually Jamie Lee Curtis's idea to maybe you can say like reunite the cast, the cast, mainly crew of the original. So she wanted John Carpenter to come direct, but John asked for a ridiculous, high amount of money.
Dang it, John.
And John did not. So they didn't take him, but Jamie still returned, and the script actually went into production. And they went into pre-production. They went into production as Halloween 7, and they started making the script, and they figured, wait, this just is too clunky. Like 4, 5, and 6 made it like kind of like weird. Like to have Jamie back, they were gonna say she had faked her death from number 4, but yeah, in this one she has a son. So why did she ditch one of her children? So they kind of just said, you know what? Why don't we just ignore 4, 5, and 6 and make a sequel to number 2? Like, because it all took place on one night. Just have the experience, like what's happened to her these 20 years later after 1978 Halloween.
Because it worked so well with all those Godzilla films. The H2O, I agree, did it good ignoring all the sequels, and other films could do it too. Like Rise of the Planet of the Apes did it pretty well ignoring the sequels.
And so it brought back the series. Actually, it did fairly well. People loved it. It actually is the second highest rated compared to the original. It was actually fairly good. The only thing I don't like was the mask. The mask. There's 4 different versions of the mask shown throughout the movie.
4.
Mm-hmm. There's a CGI one. There's the really weird white one with barely any features. The one with the close-ups, and I think they reused a mask from number 6 in one scene.
I didn't want anything to be a part of. I didn't want 6 to be a part of any of this.
So they kind of just it. I don't know. That's the only part that bothered me. And the score wasn't as. The score kind of was music from Scream. So because actually Scream, what revitalized
The horror genre.
The Halloween movie, like Halloween series, was Scream, because Scream was influenced by the original Halloween. So they kind of said Scream came from Halloween. Halloween H2O was from Scream. So it did well. It did a lot of money. It made a lot of money, actually. Like, that's why it was a good movie. Jamie Lee Curtis brought it back, and Jamie Lee Curtis said, "Let's end it. Like, let's kill him off. They chop his head off." She says, "Okay, we're done."
Jamie, you don't know Hollywood. They never know when to stop.
So they said, "Okay, let's make a Halloween 8." Well, not 8. Well, Halloween. It was actually called The Homecoming. So she said, "You guys, how can we make this movie? I mean, come on! Like the whole premise of H2O is that I'm chopping off his head. So how am I supposed to string along an audience? I've done it for 20 years before this. How am I supposed to do this?" So they said, "Well, the audience is gonna think he's dead, but you're gonna not think he's dead. So why don't we just bring him back?" It was really weird how they explained it. In the contract, they said you can never kill Michael Myers. So Jamie Lee Curtis is like, "They never told me that." So she was actually set to reprise in her contract before she had known it. She was contracted to make an appearance in Halloween 8. So she said, "Get rid of me. Kill me off. I'm done. I tried to end it. Just end me now." Officially.
I like to think that this one never happened, and was just. I guess I like to think 1, 2, H2O, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because also this one I didn't like a lot because they seemed to modernize it.
They modernized it with like this. The premise actually sounded almost good. Like, okay, so Michael kills off his sister. It seems like the series is done. Like he's done. He's gonna maybe brings back a piece of simplicity. He's gonna go back and kill people for no reason. But it was dumb. Like they got Tyra Banks, Busta Rhymes, like, you know, Busta Rhymes from that Chris Brown song "Look at Me Now," and then they have Tyra Banks, who's a model and has done various America's Next Top Model, and just got just like they said, screw the story, screw the script, let's just make a movie. Like it just felt like that. It was terrible.
Which one did he fight again? He fought at the very end.
Busta Rhymes does karate on Michael Myers.
He does. What was that?
I don't know.
And like Happy Halloween, mother.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is just a typical horror film now.
So it was actually directed by Rick Rothenthal, who had directed Halloween 2, and I almost thought, okay, this might be good because he did okay on Halloween 2. I mean, I was wrong.
Very wrong.
So it wasn't good. It just didn't work well. And at that point, Halloween almost seemed dead. This was like, I think 2002 or 2003. And by that time, a few years later, a year or 2 years later, Deborah Hill had died, and then Mustafa Akkad. So Malik Akkad, his son, takes over, and they were gonna make a Halloween 9. And so then after his dad had died, they went in a different direction. They decided to make a remake.
I have this big thing with remakes, but I'm not sure if you're gonna be mad at me for this. As a typical horror movie, it's fine. It's fine. It's just a regular horror film. But if you think of it as a remake to Halloween, then it's trash.
Yeah, and with the Rob Zombie movie, like his movies is general, you're gonna get like white trash. Like the movie is like white trash. Like it is. It's like you live in like
the
south of like some white trash community, and it's just
he didn't need a backstory. Like I give props to the kid. The kid was terrifying.
Right. I felt like the first hour was stronger than the last half. Because I really liked. I thought it was cool, like when they showed Michael's psych and like they went into like everything of like his past. That was kind of cool, but then like the white trash setting was kind of. I mean, it kind of said like, well, if the kid's living in that type of a house, no wonder he went crazy. Like, but like rather than like the original, it's just a 6-year-old kid that snaps for no reason. But
that one's more scary if it's just for no reason.
So they said, you know what, and then like I don't know, it worked, I guess, as its own movie, but not as a remake.
The Laurie character in that one whining.
I didn't like Scout Taylor.
Malcolm McDowell was fine as Loomis, I thought. Fine, not good, but fine. And Tyler Mane? He's Tyler Mane. He was okay.
Yeah, they made Michael, rather than the boogeyman, they made him more human.
And that's kind of it was supposed to represent basically just he wasn't, you couldn't reason with it, you couldn't talk to it. But
and in this movie, he wasn't out to kill Laurie, he was out to get her to
and he speaks.
To tell him, no?
No, as a kid at least. He's a kid. As a kid he speaks.
Oh, yes.
And even as a kid, I don't want to hear Michael Myers speak.
Right, so, I mean, he's not out to kill her, which makes it not scary. So why? Well, you don't know that till the end, but still, it's just kind of dumb. Danielle Harris, actually, who played Jamie Lloyd in the 4 and 5, comes back as Annie Brackett instead in the remake.
That was cool, actually.
Yeah.
I like the alternate. I actually did like the alternate ending where he does let Laurie go and he goes and they start shooting. I sort of like that one a bit.
Yeah, in the last 10 minutes they got bothered me. They're running around the house and they run in the attic and she's running upstairs. It dragged out. So the first hour was stronger. It's okay. I don't really like it. It's okay, better than like most of the sequels, but like, so it was that was in 2007. It actually made a fair decent amount of money, and then they said, okay, let's make Halloween 2.
This one, I can say, I hate it more than 6. I hate it with a passion.
So Halloween 2 came out, also directed and written by Rob Zombie again, and Malik Akkad had told him to make it completely different from any of the Halloween movies they had ever done before. This movie almost felt like you were on an acid trip. Like, it didn't, like, you were on something. It just did not, it was weird. Like, it was trippy.
Weird Al.
Like, it was, Weird Al's in it. It just, and then now, in this movie, he's trying to get Laurie again, but he's not, I can't tell if he wants to kill her, and he had somehow survived the bullet to the head from the first movie.
The bullets, he got shot like almost every.
And then there's like this whole thing with like Laurie, him seeing his mom as a ghost, which I felt was because Sherry Moon Zombie, Rob Zombie's wife. I mean, she had died in the first one. This almost felt like just to bring her back for more screen time. Like,
reminded me of Jason from Friday the 13th. Like, why does Jason kill? He kills her mommy. Why is Michael killing people now?
because of his mom, apparently,
Yes.
with a white horse.
What was that?
It's just to represent the psych, but then Rob Zombie had originally said that it originally wasn't. It was just he thought it looked cool. So that's why.
What? I thought that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in the Halloween series. And I've seen kids' faces melting off. Well, the masked faces melting off.